In a very self-centered world, empathy is a quality that is getting lost. Yet Jesus taught us many times to take this attitude. And for someone single, practicing empathy now can ensure the success of a future marriage. We react to situation or respond to discussions with our interest in mind. Thinking of ourselves is always our first reaction because it is what the flesh, the pride, would do. If we want to be Christian, that is, if we want to be like Christ in this world, of course, we have to put our little selves aside and develop empathy, like we can read in Luke 10:30 to 37. According to the Webster Dictionary, empathy means being aware of, being sensitive to the feelings, thoughts, and experience of another. It's in a way learning to read between the lines when someone interacts with us. For example, at work, if you come up with a new idea in a group meeting and one of your coworker has a bad attitude and find all the flaws in your idea, how will you react? Will you be offended by their reaction and ready to vigorously defend your idea by attacking them verbally? This would be a very proud reaction, which seeks to defend its little self. Yet, Jesus taught us to break this attachment to our image and being ready to turn the other cheek. Matthew 5, verse 39. The empathy that Christ would ask us to show in a situation similar to what we just mentioned would be, on the contrary, to show an interest in the welfare of the colleague in question. It would be to think, why are they reacting so fiercely? Are they okay? To be like Christ would be to make our points politely during the meeting and then go and talk privately to that colleague to see if they are okay, if they have any personal problems that we could pray for or help them. It is putting others before ourselves. As Paul said, let nothing be done through selfish ambition or conceit, but in lowliness of mind let each esteem others better than themselves. Philippians 2:3. Colossians 3:12 has another beautiful definition of empathy. Therefore, as the elect of God, holy and beloved, put on tender mercies, kindness, humility, meekness, long-suffering. It is a beautiful attitude that is easy to have in church during the service of worship. But Christ teaches us to choose this position even in the face of personal attacks, relationship conflict, or when it seems to put us at a disadvantage. It is this type of love that patiently accepts all things, like says 1 Corinthians 13:7. That does not mean that we let other people abuse us, but it is always being prepared to lose a debate if it can help us win our brother or sister to Christ. And it is when we are like Christ in word and conduct that we are the best place to guide them to salvation. As a single person, this beautiful personality trait taken directly from the character of Christ will make us more pleasant to be around. Many singles are afraid to say a bad word in front of certain people because they're afraid that the other will be angry and offended. If instead we are single people who are empathic, we're not going to reject a clumsy suitor. We are going to read between the lines of their wacky words to see their heart. And practice reading between the awkward lines of a kind-hearted suitor, as it will build also the ability for us to discern the evil hearts behind beautiful compliments. Finally, once we are married, empathy will also be an essential to the success of our marriage. This will allow us to be less hurt in the face of bitter reaction and will prepare us to consider the interests of others and marriage before our own. To show empathy without feeling like a loser, we need to be well established in our relationship with God. We must keep in mind our ultimate goal, which is our salvation, and constantly remind ourselves of the power of God to defend us, among other things. We need to be so fulfilled by His presence that we no longer need to protect our little self. The empathy that Christ taught us to have begin in our knees and take a lot of practice. So let's start now.